What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz claims that they're forcing Anthony Joshua straight into a rematch. He said that the former unified champion is not ready for a rematch. They're forcing him into one. He said a little bit of Joshua wants it. And a little bit says that they're forcing him straight to the rematch. Now, as I promised you guys that I would get to the bottom of what he meant by Joshua, they're making Joshua do something that he doesn't really want to do. Now we know he was referring to the rematch at hand between himself and Anthony Joshua. And a lot of people thought that he should take a tune-up fight, but me counterpunching this real simple and quick, I don't think so. I don't think that was the case at all. I think that Joshua wanted that fight right away. Because after all, he wasn't knocked out. Okay? The fight was stopped by the referee. So Joshua probably maybe would have ended up on his back because he was exhausted. He was tired. He was tired and exhausted, if anything. You know, and that was crazy because it was the 7th round and he was like, he was out. You know what I mean? I think Anthony Joshua, on the contrary, is quite the opposite. I think that he wants that fight probably more than he wants to fight anybody right now. And that's Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. He said it. He's shown it. He said, don't talk to me about Deontay Wilder nor Tyson Fury. I got this guy, Andy Ruiz, in front of me, and that's who I'm looking forward to fighting, the unified champion, which, needless to say, Wilder and Fury are not, okay? And let's look at it this way. Even if Anthony Joshua didn't want the rematch, even if he didn't, what choice does he have? He had no other choice. And the networks and the promoters don't have to force him into that because that speaks by itself. He has to take that rematch because if he didn't, then something else will happen, or, you know, he might have a rematch clause, or it could be a situation like Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya, where Oscar never got his chance to fight Floyd again, and Floyd retired at that point. So, on top of that, Ruiz could be beaten his very next fight against someone else, anybody else. I think he would have beat Kubrat Pulev, but, you know what I mean? Let's say he would have went up against Usyk and lost it to Usyk, right? And God forbids they're going to throw him in there with Wilder, because you know that was right up the alley. That was probably the first fight that was going to be made by Al Haymon. 2 Al Haymon fighters. Make no mistake about it. It wouldn't have been Bob Arum's fighter. It wouldn't surely be Eddie Hearn's choice. Even though the WBO has the mandatory, it does not matter. That fight was going to be done, okay? Why do you think Wilder was waiting so long? He was waiting to see if they were going to fight, and they are. That's why he is now announcing Ortiz, because he wanted that fight so bad now, you know, he could taste it, okay? And so could Al Haymon. And Al Haymon doesn't care really who gets the fight because they're both his fighters. He wins. It's a double win for him. He's just concocting these fights. He's promoting. He's advising these fights. These are his fighters. So no, Joshua did not have a chance or any other option but to take the rematch if he was going to have any chance to get his belts back. But as far as him saying, oh, I don't think he really wanted the rematch, no, I have to strongly disagree to the birthday boy, because Joshua wanted that rematch. That was what he was saying right after that fight. No, I want a rematch. No tune-ups. What the fuck is that? We don't do that over here. Not on Team Joshua, right? We go right back into the kitchen, right? So that's what's happening. But anyway, I had to counterpunch this article because I just read it. And it's, you know, it's very quite interesting to see Andy Ruiz talk like this. It's great. It shows confidence. It definitely shows a little cockiness, you know, because he's confident that, hey, he didn't even want to fight me. He might not want to fight me again. They're pushing him into this fight. You know what I mean? Almost is saying that Anthony Joshua was scared in a sense, right? So, you know, that's his way of slyly talking shit. But, you know, he's not the only one that's slick caps. You know what I mean? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Andy Ruiz's statements. Of course, please subscribe. I'll leave the source below. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.